Good morning, student. Yesterday we come to know about Horace Denby, who he was. He was a businessman who was in a business of making a law. He was having a two helper also who used to help him to run the business. In the society, he was known as a good and honest man. Yes, indeed, he was a good man, but not an honest because it was, you can say, a principle, or he was having an hobby, a habit of stealing. Every year he used to break a safe for a money to buy an expensive books. This habit of reading an expensive book he developed once when he was in jail, and where he used to spend his maximum time in the jail library. From there he developed the habit, or a can say love for reading expensive books. He was 50 years old, unmarried, so he was looked after by a housekeeper. Horace Denby was suffering from a kind of fever known as hay fever. It's a kind of allergy, and it comprises of sneezing, continuously sneezing. Horace Denby, whenever he used to break the safe, before breaking the safe, he used to come to know about the in and out of the house. This time he has decided to break the safe at a Shotover Grange, and he has come to know that the family has gone to London. There are two servants, and that day they had gone to watch movies. So the house seems to be empty, and he thought that this was the good opportunity, a best time where he could give reality to his idea. And from where he had come to know about this house was from a magazine where everything was given about that house. The every stuck interior of the house was given in that magazine. So when he entered that house, he had also come to know about the name of the dog, Sherry. He was freely breaking the safe on. At that time he had started sneezing, but he was not worried whether the people or inmates of that house could be alert or not, because he knew very well that the house was empty, and he knew very well that the jewelry which is there in the safe, it was of 15,000 pounds, so he could buy expensive three books, which he had already come to know that it will come for sale in the month of autumn. Clear. When he was sneezing, at that time he heard a voice. A voice was showing a concern about his hay fever. Let's see what happened now. It was quite kindly voice, but one with firmness in it. A woman was standing in the doorway. Doorway means between the door, and Sherry was rubbing against her. She was young, quite pretty, and was dressed in red. She was wearing a red dress. She walked to the fireplace and straightened the ornaments there. Down, Sherry, she said, anyone would think I had been away for a month. She smiled at Horace and went on. However, I came back just in time, though I didn't expect to meet a burglar. So she was presenting herself to be the owner of the house, or the master of the house. Horace had some hope because she seemed to be amused at meeting, happy. He might avoid trouble if he treated her the right way. He replied, I didn't expect to meet one of the family. He said that I was not expecting to meet any member of the family. She nodded. I see. What an inconvenience it for you to meet me. What are you doing to do? Horace said, my first thought was to run. He said, first I was thinking that I should run away. Of course, you could do that. But I could telephone the police and tell them all about you. They would get you at once. He said, if you want to run, you can run away. What I'll do, I'll make a call to the police and they are going to arrest you. Horace said, I would, of course, cut the telephone wire first and then. He said, okay, before I'll run, I'm going to cut the telephone wire. Then how you're going to make a call to the police? He hesitated, a smile on his face. I could make sure that you could do nothing for a time. A few hours would be enough for me to run away. She looked at him seriously. You'd hurt me? Are you going to injure me? Horace paused and then said, I think I was trying to frighten you when I said that. You didn't frighten me. I'm not scared of you. Horace suggested, it would be nice if you could forget you ever saw me. Let me go. Horace said, one thing I can do, simply let me walk out of this house. You will forget me, and now let me go. The voice was suddenly sharp. Sharp means angry. Why should I? You were going to rob me. If I let you go, you will only rob someone else. If today I let you go, so might be you are going to rob somebody else. Society must be protected from a man like you. Men like a thief like you, the society should be protected. Horace smiled. I'm not a man who threatens society. He said, I'm not a man whom the society would feel threatened. I steal only for those who have lot of money. I never steal anyone. I only steal or I'm going to break that house which is having a lot of money. I steal for a very good reason. And I hate the thought of a prison. I hate of going to jail. And if I am stealing it, there is a reason behind it. And moreover, I don't go and steal in every house. I steal in those houses where there are lots of money. She laughed and he begged, thinking that he had persuaded her. Look, I have no right to ask you for anything, but I am desperate. Let me go, and I promise never to do this thing up again. I really mean it. So Horace was bending, pleading, begging to that lady to let him go, and he promised that in future he is not going to steal. She was silent, watching him closely. Then she said, you are really afraid of going to prison, aren't you? She came over him, shaking her head. I'm always like the wrong kind of people. She said, I always like the people who do wrong things. She picked up the silver box from the table and took a cigarette from it. Horace, eager to please her and seeing that she might help him, took off his gloves and gave her a cigarette lighter. You will let me go, he said. He held the lighter towards her. Miss, are you me that you will simply let me go from here? Yes, but only if you will do something for me. She said, yeah, I'll let you go. Only if you do something for me. Anything you say. Before we left for London, I promised my husband to take my jewels to a bank, but I left them here in the safe. I want to wear them to a party tonight, so I came down to get them. But Horace smiled. You've forgotten the number to open the safe, haven't you? So the lady said, if you will help me, I will let you go. I need a jewelry, clear, which is in the safe, but I'm not having a key or anything. Horace said that it means you have forgotten the number of your safe. She said, yes. Just leave it to me and you will have them within an hour, but I will have to break your safe. He said, okay, I will help you in that. But for that, you have to give me a permission so that I could break the safe. Don't worry about that. My husband won't be here for a month and I will have the safe mended by that time. So the lady said, yes, you can break the safe because before my husband comes, I will have that safe mended. And within an hour, Horace had opened the safe, given her the jewels, and gone happily away. So Horace, for help, he broke open the safe. Whatever the jewelry was there inside the safe, he gave it to that lady. For 2 days, he kept his promise to the kind young lady. On the morning of the third day, however, he thought of a book he wanted, and he knew he would have to look for another safe. So for 2 days, he kept his promise, the promise which he had made to that lady of that Shortway Granger, that he is not going to steal in future. But that book, that expensive book, reminded him, and he decided to break the safe again. But he never got the chance to begin his plan. Why? Because by noon, a policeman had arrested him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Grange. So he was about to go for breaking the safe, but he was not able to execute his plan as he was arrested. Why he was arrested by the police? For the robbery which had taken place at Shotover Grange. His fingerprint, for he had opened the safe without gloves, were all over the room. And no one believed him when he said that the wife of owner of house had asked him to open the safe for her. Is it clear? So he told the police, he told everyone that it was the wife of that house owner had requested him to break the safe. That's why he had removed the gloves. But nobody believed him. Why? Because the wife herself was gray haired. She was having a white hair. Sharp-tongued woman means a woman who was very anger, dominating, loud, and was 60 years old. So the owner of that house was not that young lady for whom Horace Denby has broken the safe and handed over the jewelry. The owner of that house, the lady was 60 years old and very arrogant. Horace is now the assistant librarian in the prison. He often think of the charming, clever young lady who was in the same profession as he was. It means that lady was also a thief and who tricked him, cheated him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves because what it says every time we hear a stories we see in a movies also talking about the ilaka, that one you can say the place area, that a thief, a criminal of a particular place will not venture into the area of another thief or the criminals. But Horace is saying when we talk about the honor among thieves, I don't believe it. I rebrushed it because that lady had cheated me. That lady herself was a thief. I hope this chapter is clear to you.